host Chelangak Diana, and today we are going to talk about anger management. We Most of the times we find ourselves very angry, especially when someone maybe cuts you off in the traffic, or when something annoys you. You find your blood pressure rockets simply because you are annoyed. So with us today is Mr. Philip Rono from Ilbra Counseling Center, who will guide us through on anger management. So welcome, Mr. Rono.
Thank you very much. You have said my name is Philip Rono from Ilbra Counseling Center, just right in Eldoret. I want to cover this day as People's Matters about anger management. Very important that we know about anger management. It is affecting us. It's a normal reaction, which is supposed to be understood to be normal reaction. And it is so nice for people, it progress people. But at one time, if they are not managed correctly, it causes a lot of destruction. So we need to understand that anger management in ourselves are normal reaction in our bodies. It is coming in a normal way. But the way you handle is what makes us feel problems and distract our lives in whatever case we are. That is why we are saying anger management is supposed to be understood, so that we need to understand when are we supposed to be able to understand, when are we supposed to get to anger management, how do we control ourselves so that we don't become destructive. Otherwise, a normal reaction in ourselves. It defends us and it promotes us, it develops us.
And Mr. Rono, how long should one be angry?
It's interesting, a very good question. In most cases, anger management depends on people and depends on the events which have made you angry. If the events are that normal, maybe it takes a minute or two, or even an hour or a week. It depends on the way the person takes anger and the way the person has managed to control him or herself during the anger management part. It's very important that the time cannot be limited to one particular. It can be different to many people, different people, because in most cases it happens in a different way, and depending on how you have maintained yourself, how you have organized yourself during anger time, then you'll be able to take a shortest time, or if you don't know, you take a longest time, and even it becomes destructive.
So can you say also maybe someone's personality also determines the length in which one can get angry?
Yes, it's true. It's true. We do accept personalities are contributing factors to anger. We do accept there are people who are extroverts who talk so much, and when they talk, they find that they talk so much, and they talk to friends, they talk to relatives, they talk to anybody, and you find the anger disappears as they talk. But these introverts people who keep quiet when they are talking, where they don't have a lot of talks, when they are angry, you don't know, and they keep into themselves, and they have a lot of distraction in them. So it depends on the personality as well. Yes.
At times you find someone, you get angry, you feel like maybe killing that person, or maybe throwing something. So in what way can someone maybe express anger, and healthy ways, in fact?
Yeah, the most important thing we have to know, so that we manage the anger and we manage it effectively, is not to be destructive to your normal life. When you get angry, you should be able to organize yourself that you are not destructive in your life, to your environment, in your families, so that at the end of it, you are able to control yourself, so that you don't get destructive. You can manage it in many ways. You can have, when you are hungry, you can go to a quiet place and maybe you meditate. You can go to a quiet place and you even sing a song. You can go to a quiet, you can even walk along the walk paths, and you'll be able to reduce the hunger. But the destructive part is when you now become, you are a spoiler. When you are hungry, you find you throw things away. When you are hungry, you find that you want to fight, you want to break the law. That is what we always say is a destructive way of managing anger. Managing anger is doing it effectively and quietly without any destruction to yourself, to your family, to your relationship, to your friends, and to anybody around you. It should be quiet and simple and comfortable. That everybody understands that is it. Yes.
Okay, we've seen, personally I've seen anger having a relationship with domestic violence and also drug abuse as maybe the cause of anger. Can you take us deeply through that?
Yeah, we thank you very much for the question. We are saying, in most cases, anger comes, and if they are not controlled, they could be in three phases. One, they can be expressed. Somebody who is hungry can express his anger. If it's positive, that is very nice. But some of them, when they express their anger, they express it in an aggressive manner. They express by fighting, they express by abusive way of doing things. They are doing bad things. That is a way of managing that particular anger in one particular place. If it is expressed in a negative way, that is anger. But in most cases, we say anger should be expressed in a positive way, in assertive way, in a way where you can ask what is right and what is not right. You express so that they understand you. That is one. Number two, we can have a suppressed anger, where you keep it to yourself and you keep it. You don't talk to anybody. You don't explain why you are angry. You are just quiet, and you, in that sense, that anger sometimes comes indirectly to you. And you find that you are, after a day or maybe after some hours, you feel you are abusive, you feel you are destructive, you feel you are not the person you expect to be. You are losing friends because of that suppression of anger. That one is not the best way to how to handle the anger, because when anger is suppressed, you suppress it here, but it comes out indirectly and affects people. It affects your family. It affects you. It affects even where you have been performing. If you have been eating, you may not even eat that particular time because you have suppressed it and you have put it down. That one is another way of expressing anger for many people. We say the best thing is to express it in a positive way. There is another one, which is the third one, which is called calming the anger. You calm it. You just quietly leave it there. And you don't even talk about it. You just leave it. At the end of it, after some time, it may be a day, it may be a week, it may be a month, it comes out indirectly, and other people around you suffer. So we say anger can be managed by the best way of making sure, if you have to suppress it, you suppress it, but positively explain how it happens. If you have to express it positively so that it cannot affect you in any way. If you have to calm it and make sure it does not come out. Use other coping mechanism so that it does not come out. You have calmed it and you have made it quiet wherever it is. But in most cases, you find when you expressing anger and when you express it in a negative way, you find people even kill others. You have had people, when a child steals 20 shillings and buys peremende, buys sweets, you become so hungry and you remove a knife and you cut your child. Your child, because of 20 shillings. You get people fighting in a particular place because they are expecting one to pay 10 shillings. And at the end of it, you find they have been so hungry and they have expressed it in a negative way and they are so aggressive and they fight and one dies because of 10 shillings. So we are saying anger can be managed only after knowing and being aware of the three stages. Expressing in a positive way, suppressing it, and if you have to express it later in a positive way, and calming it and let it be calm in a positive way, and understand who you are. Yes.
So are you advising that one should deal with anger at that particular moment instead of suppressing it, then it bursts out after some time in a very, very violent manner?
Very true. Very true. We are saying anger should be expressed and be expressed assertively. That means it should be expressed. You should be able to say genuinely what is causing your anger. The most important thing we have to say in anger management is you need to understand what has made you be angry. If you have known what has made you to be angry, that is the next time now you express that and say positively, this is what has made me and I want it to be done like this. If it's a family issue, you tell family members, this is what has made me angry, I want it to be done like this. Not to be aggressive. You may have to explain in a positive way that this is what I expect to be done. What are your feelings? So that all of you come to a compromise and you agree on what is being done. That will not affect you. So anger should be expressed in a assertive way. Yes.
can you tell that I am angry? I am feeling angry. I am mad at someone.
Yes. You can tell you are mad, or you are hungry, or you are mad, and whatever the way you have said, only if you have changed your behaviors. If you change your performance, if you have been sitting in a place and you find something has happened and you are feeling hungry because now the temperature has gone up, the heartbeat has been running very fast, the heart rate, and even some of them can even sweat, some of them can even be violent. That is when you feel anger has overtaken you. In most cases, the reaction, the behavioral reaction of you when you become hungry, that is the most important thing. We say when you are doing anger management, you need to understand who you are. You need to understand if you are hungry, how will you behave? There are people when they are hungry, they cry. There are people when they are hungry, they find themselves quiet. There are people when they are hungry, they find themselves shouting, and they are becoming violent. We are saying when that particular person knows the weakness of his or the characteristics of his anger, that is possible for him to manage. Yes.
So, Mr. Rono, do you think age, maybe your health, can be a contribution, can contribute to anger management?
Yes.
Or anger, in fact?
Yes, true. I do accept that the points you have raised are correct, that when you are old, we do accept when you are old, your mind becomes fixed to something and you feel you don't want to change, and then it's so fast. You see old people don't want to change as people change in time. But when things happen now and then, when you are hungry, you feel you become more angry when you are older than when you are younger. And in most cases we say when anger comes, it affects people who are rigid, who are culturally brought to be rigid. That maybe if you have been brought as a man and maybe a lady misbehaves somewhere and you find you are now saying the lady has not respected you, and you know ladies must respect, that is what you are told when you are young or when you are being brought up, you feel that becomes an anger event and makes you so hungry. We do accept age as well matters. And even the personality. Some people cannot be angry because they use humor. They laugh when things are supposed to be making people angry, and he laughs, and then he laughs and he jokes out and he jokes. You find he's not going to be so angry. But those people who keep quiet, they become hungry so fast. Introverts become hungry so fast because whatever you say, he does not take it just lightly, and he becomes so hungry. So we do accept personality as well affects the way we manage our anger. Yes.
Our viewer, we are going for a short break, and when we come back, we are going to continue with our topic on anger management. So stay back.
Thank you.